Children grades are good indicators to measure educational success. Just like good salary, student GPA or grade point average is a vital indication of how students are doing in school. As parents, we often wonder why we are given little or no information to support our children in getting the aids that we want. Today, right here with Ms. Phaedra Boyd, we will be going through how we can use metacognitive learning strategy to help our children get the aids that we want. Good morning, I'm Yaba, and you're watching the Lady Pearl Show. Today we have, as I mentioned before, we have with us Ms. Phaedra. Ms. Phaedra, tell us a little bit about your company and what you do in our community.
Hey Yaba, I'm so excited to be here as we take this exciting journey, giving you the tools and the resources that you need to help your kids ace their classes.
That's it. That's all we all need as parents.
So at Greater MPower Tutoring, we believe and we're grounded in 3 M's. The first M, mindset. You have to have a positive mindset. The second thing is mastery, subject mastery. You can fake it till you make it for so long, but eventually somebody's going to call your bluff. And the third M is the master. Proverbs 1:9 and Proverbs 9:10 says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of not just wisdom, but knowledge. So you cannot leave God out of the equation.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about metacognitive learning strategy.
So metacognitive learning strategies is actually, I learned about it through a book that I read by Dr. Sandra McGuire. She's done some study and research. She's worked with a lot of students and in student centers and with teachers, and these components needed to help students ace their classes. And so I'm just here trying to get the word out so that A's are not just for a select few, but helping everyone realize that anybody can get an A if they use these 6 components.
Wow, that's awesome. So let's dive right in.
I was reading a report put out by U.S. News and World Record on the state rankings. And of course, I looked to see where's Georgia and where's Georgia when it comes to ranking education. And according to them, Georgia's number 36 overall.
Oh my goodness.
Right, and number 37 in education. And so they're looking at things like economy, infrastructure, opportunity, education, healthcare. So you hear this 36, Georgia's number 36, and you could have different reactions. Some people could say, who cares? We have other things to focus on. Some people will say, well, at least we're not 50.
Oh, no.
Right? And some people will ask, well, how can we get Georgia to be in that number 1 spot? So, yeah, but if we're trying to get Georgia to the number 1 spot, do you think the people involved should be these politicians that are only concerned about being reelected? Or should it involve people in the community and policymakers who really care about Georgia for themselves, for their children, for their grandchildren, for their community?
I believe people who are involved in the community and who takes it personal, because it has to be very personal for you to take a good step at it.
Exactly. So number 1, make it personal.
Yes.
You have to make it personal. If there's personal interest, then there's vested interest. So we need to find that goal or that motivation that will keep us going on this track toward getting A's.
Exactly.
Maybe it's wanting to graduate with a 4.0. Maybe it's meeting the requirements and exceeding the requirements to get into your first choice college or university. Maybe there's a scholarship that you're trying to get, but you have to make it personal. There's a tendency, unfortunately, just to get homework done or just to study for the test, as opposed to studying and learning for the long term, creating a strong foundation in elementary school, middle school, so that when you high school, so that when you get to college, you're not struggling as much. So we're talking to those students who aren't not satisfied with, well, at least I'm not failing or at least I'm passing. We're talking to those students who want to be at the top And how are they going to get there? By making it personal.
Wow. Wow.
Well, I want to share with you guys a story that happened to me. Calculus. I don't know how many of you have taken calculus.
A lot of parents will tell you, no, let me stay out of it.
Calculus and I, when we first met, we were not friends. We did not hit it off. I took calculus once, dropped it. Took calculus, signed up again, dropped it. And throughout the transcourse of this sign up and drop, I called home one day and said, I want to be a missionary to Africa. And almost immediately my mom asked me.
I see if that was coming really deep from your heart.
Right.
You wanted to be a missionary.
Right.
That was your goal.
Yes. My mom was not convinced that I had altruistic aspirations. And she immediately called my bluff and said, straight out, what's going on, Phaedra? What's wrong?
See, that's what I like about parents. Parents need to know what their children are going through.
Right.
If you know your child's goal, and you have to know your child's goal. If you're a parent and you do not know your child's goal, I need you to consider that today and keep talking to your child, knowing their vision, knowing their goal, what they want to be, what they're striving for. Why do they think it's important for them to go to school? So if once you know that, then when they are actually taking a different route, then you can easily catch it up. I'm glad your mom did that, because that was a really good thing that she did, and she was able to catch you where you were. So what happened?
So, well, after my parents walked me through the pros and cons of stopping college and how a lot of people don't go back to college.
Yes.
Their personal goal for me to finish on time became my goal to finish on time. So I did finish calculus.
That is good. You know what? As youths and as children, I don't know who is watching. I don't know who you are, if you have children or not, or if you are a youth. Take advice very seriously, because our parents know more. They know better than we do. Sometimes we can, take different courses that will not lead us to the right goal. But parents will always know what we are doing and will always help us to come back to our goal. Because you know what? If you don't finish college, you stay home, you become lazy, your mind becomes dull, and you are not able to do what we want to do. As soon as you start having children, start having jobs and going 9 to 5, trust me, it's hard for you to go back to school. And you don't really want to stay there where you are right now. You really want to go up.
Right.
And who doesn't want to see his or her children going up, succeed? So what was it? How did you overcome that?
Well, I kept going, and I'm actually going to finish the story on the next episode when we talk about preparing your study space. Okay. But I did finish. I managed to eke out a B or a C, but I'll talk about that later on. I did finish.
I can't wait to hear that.
So sometimes our personal goals may come from outside personal goals for us, and that's not always a bad thing.
Yes. Because as a student, we need mentors in our life. The teachers could be our mentors, our parents could be our mentors, outside mentors could be our mentors. But we need to make sure that we surround ourselves with good people.
Right.
We need to be sure that we surround ourselves with good people. It could be good friends, it could be good family members who have our vision at hand. So it is a good thing that you went back for it, because now you're proud you did.
Yes, I'm glad I finished. I had to finish.
Yes.
This make it personal. So even though my personal came from, this was my parents' personal goal for me, I did finish. And I knew I had to finish. It really wasn't an option. This make it personal helps you finish, helps you push through.
That's right.
When school gets boring.
That's right.
When school gets tough.
That's right.
When your friends want to go out and hang out, but you know you have a project
due
or a test due.
Yes.
This ranking system, going back to the study that I read about Georgia, you can take it or leave it, but it's just something to consider. Maybe right now you're number 50 in class. Maybe you're number 37. Maybe you're number 1 in class.
But you can do better.
You can do better.
If you make it personal. That's what I take from you. In everything we're doing, we need to make it personal. If it is studies, if it is a job, if it is entrepreneurship, whatever you have your mind put to it, you need to make it personal, because you know what? If it is not a personal goal, don't go after it, because you'll be tired of it. So I really want to thank you for coming to Lady Pearl's show. It has been a wonderful journey with you. I have known you for a while. I know what the things that you do for the children in our community, and I'm really thrilled to have this journey with you. Stay tuned with us, because in the next few weeks we'll be discussing all the other episodes that we have for you using metacognitive learning strategy to become successful in school, to get the A's that you want, to get the A's that your children want.
I want to encourage you using a text from Philippians chapter 3 verses 12 through 14. And even though Paul is speaking in a spiritual context about his relationship and his growth in Christ, we can also apply it to our academic life. In essence, and this is a Phaedra translation, so you won't be able to find it anywhere else. This is an original one. When it comes to your studies, don't think that just because you have a 4.0 that you've arrived. You can't rest on your laurels. Yes. You may have a 4.0 in high school, but when you get to college, there are dozens of other students that also have that 4.0. Mm-hmm. So you can't rest on that 4.0. You have to keep pushing. That's right. You may be 37, you may be number 50, but you have to keep going. You press towards that prize. You use that personal goal to keep going towards that call, that prize, that graduation, that internship, that job that you want to acquire at the end. So our call for you is to keep going. Share with us, what is your vision? Hashtag GMPT I continue. Yes. Tag us. Show us your vision board. What is it that keeps you going from day to day when things get tough? Make it personal.
Make it personal. Share with us, as she said, share with us your vision, especially your vision board. Let your children make a vision board and share with us on Lady Pearl's Mentorship Academy. Like us, follow us on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram. So, to better understand the process of using metacognitive learning strategy to ace your tests, please stay tuned with us, because Winston Churchill said,
"Success is not
fatal.
Failure is not
final.
It is the courage to continue that counts."
Good. So, we'll see you again next time right here at the Lady Pearl Show.